The Clippers and the Mavs are an intriguing matchup. This matchup highlighted by superstars Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and they are the 4th-5 seed, and I'll be previewing this playoff matchup. This matchup is very interesting, has a few interesting matchups, but we already have a concern. I'll show you guys. Kawhi Leonard is an injury concern. He has a bruising knee, and as you guys see here, it's unsure whether he'll play game 1. He hasn't played since March 31, and the bruising in his knee has been a problem. If you guys haven't seen, I made a video on the Clippers' problems, and it was exactly the injury concern. Last year, the Clippers played the Suns in the first round. Paul George was out for 2 weeks, so he wasn't going to make the first round. Should have been healthy for the second, but Kawhi Leonard was injured, and they didn't have a chance to see what would have happened if they made the second round. And this has been consistent. The only run that they had a chance at was the 2020 semi-final run where they had, and I think they threw a 3-1 lead to Denver, which is pretty embarrassing, especially for a Clippers team that was so good. And Nikola Jokic hadn't won any MVPs and wasn't known as the player he is and was today. Was back then. He wasn't the same player. He was a lot worse, and that's proven in the way that the Lakers dealt with Denver in that series, and when they went on to go and win the championship. This Clippers team, as I said, it's all about health, but it's also about James Harden. He's been inefficient in the playoffs. As you guys can see here, James Harden's playoff stats since getting off the Rockets hasn't been good, but he's averaged 22, 6, and 5 in 160 games in the playoffs. And if we restrict that after Houston, it will massively decrease. As in Philly, he had a few good games, and that was his playoff career in Houston. But after playing for the Houston Rockets, let's see if this works. Nah, it doesn't say. Who did he play for after? Here you go. This will show you his nets. 20 points, that was his first team. Then he went to the 76ers, so went from 28 to 20. Then he went down to 19, and now is at the Clippers. And he has had a terrible second half to the season, been very inefficient, and the Clippers haven't been winning games. And as you guys can see, if we put in the Clippers record through the first 41 games, you will see that they were playing pretty well. It doesn't say, but here you go. They were 51 and 31, playing 41 games this season. Okay, they had a decent season, but then you have a look at when Kawhi doesn't play. Clipper record, when Kawhi doesn't play, it's terrible. They just aren't a good team. In the games without Kawhi, they are 7-7, but the wins were to Golden State early in the year, and to Memphis and Charlotte. They beat Denver, but if you remember that night, that was against a terrible team. It was against DeAndre Jordan and Reggie Jackson, I think. If I have a look, I believe so. It was... Jokic did play in this game, but there was a game where they got beat to that team, Reggie Jackson and DeAndre Jordan, and that shows the inconsistency of the Clippers this year. They've been up and down. The Mavs been the hottest team since the All-Star break, been incredible, only lost 2 games. I think they're 15-17. Kyrie been healthy again, playing great. He's been great for the Mavs. I didn't think that the backcourt of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving would work. But as you guys can see, 25 points on great shooting splits. I think that could be a career 3-point shooting year, and it is his second best 3-point shooting year, with only the Cavs one, but he was only shooting 46% from the field, so this definitely could be his best year. And Luka Doncic, he could win the MVP. He has been incredible, and especially if we have a look at Luka's stats against the Clippers, he's insane. He averages 33, 8 and 7 in 18 games against the Clippers. This goes back to when he was a rookie. I know he's averaging 33 and it may not look impressive, but let's have a look at the games he's played recently. Doesn't even show the ones from later on in the season, but 28, 9 and 10, 30, 44, 29, 43, 35, 45 and 51 in the last 8 games there, which is incredible. Luka dominates the Clippers because they got nobody to guard him, and that's why prediction, I think that the Mavs will get it over the line. They're the better team against the Clippers in the matchup, because if we have to look at the Mavs Clippers season series, we will see the Mavs were 1 and 2, but if you have a look at the losses, I think that one of them was without Kyrie Irving. This was with a Kawhi Leonard. This one didn't have Kyrie Irving, like I said. And the other loss, I don't know if I can justify this one. It was with Kyrie Irving and Luka. And, oh, yeah, I can. Look at this. Rashawn Holmes and Grant Williams. This was not their best squad. They're both centers. They hadn't had Gafford. This was pre-trade deadline. The Mavs are a lot better, and I'll be tipping them to win the series in 6. I think the Clippers will put up a fight. Not gonna get me wrong, but I think Kawhi Leonard will be injured, and it will affect the series, meaning the Mavs get through in 6. If you guys like the video, I have a video even supporting why the Clippers won't win this series, and it's right here.